All right, we are back, and we are going to be getting into some more things. So right now, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the executive orders that Joe Biden has gotten through. One of the big ones that everyone's kind of talking about is the private prisons. So Ricky, how do you feel about private prisons?
I think it's a great way to make money. I think it's a great way to invest because, I mean,
there's always going to be people going to jail.
Everybody's going to jail. And now with especially Kamala,
Kamala, yeah.
I mean,
everyone's like, she's going to lock everybody.
Everybody's going to jail. So I think it's a great investment. I would put it in your portfolio. It's a good diversification. Yeah, man.
Right up there with Chinese sweatshops.
So ultimately, in my mind, I would need to invest. I would need to investigate pretty hard into private prisons and what the point is, what the difference is, and I just don't know. But in my head, what I see the issue being is that there could be corruption because if a prison is a business. What is a business trying to do? A business is trying to cut costs. A business is trying to get more customers. Okay, so you want more prisoners and you want to not provide the best care for them. So we're talking food probably sucks. They're probably not getting the best education or rehabilitation or programs. And so those are the issues. Do I know that that's what's happening? No, but it's certainly...
Well, the issue is that happens at both. It happens at public and private prisons.
It certainly opens the doors for corruption.
Yeah.
So, what does the actual executive order say?
The executive order basically ends any contract the DOJ has coming up in I believe the fiscal year of 2022 for private prisons.
Okay, so we already talked about 14,000?
Yeah, about 14. It affects about 14,000 inmates.
Ultimately, what happens? What happens to the inmates?
Basically,
they just get shipped to a different prison?
Possibly. I don't know what the DOJ guidelines are.
All right, so cool.
Because it hasn't happened yet.
So what happens is that we go from one building to a different building, and then everything is better.
Ideally, that's a good idea.
Okay. I just think it's window dressing, especially when we have over 2 million inmates in the United States. We're the largest, basically, penal colony in the world. Right.
So it does to me it's window dressing unless you actually get substantive prison reform to where, especially when people who have who have been convicted of felonies are able to re-enter to society. Because right now, there's only 2 states in the entire country that allow inmates to vote that are felons. They have felonies. That's Vermont and I think Maine.
It's an interesting concept, man, because
they have more lobsters than people.
And it's an interesting concept because who do you want voting?
It's an interesting concept, but that's the thing, though.
If somebody's committing felonies, do you think they're in the right state of mind? Do you think they have?
Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about, though.
Do you think they have the public's interest in mind?
Okay, this is something they grilled Bernie Sanders on. He's like, should he let the freaking Boston bomber vote? Probably not. But what I'm saying is, once someone has done their time, have re-entered into society, they should be given that chance.
It's something to talk about.
Look at Michael Vick. Michael Vick, horrendous crime. I don't condone it, but he's done his time. He's back on doing sports commentary.
Yeah, I think there should be a time, but it's got to be your probationary thing because how many people end up back in prison? But what's
that due to though?
What's the statistic?
Is that due to the fact they have
Is that
zero?
due to the fact that they can't vote? Please.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm not saying it's just that, but I'm saying the fact that if you are an ex-felon in this country, you are basically a second-class citizen. Your job opportunities are limited. For sure. Your ability for housing is limited. You cannot even get federal student grants if you have a drug possession or a drug felony in this country. And so, you're basically treated and you can't vote, you can't own a fire. You're basically a second-class citizen in this country if you're an ex-felon.
So
it's not just voting. I'm just saying the whole entire package of it is that we need to create a better system of trying to reintegrate these people back into society. Like, obviously, yes, there's some people that need to be on parole or probation and things like that. But
well, I think they all are. Coming out of prison, I think everybody is for a time at least.
Yeah. But I'm talking about the ones that have gone through that program don't get back to vote. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why the bill in Florida to let ex-felons vote was so monumental, because that was over 200,000 people.
Well, I don't even know that it was ex-felons. I think they were actually trying to get people in prison to vote. I think that was part of it.
I think that was part of it, but they allowed ex-felons to vote too, people that had already been in prison that had been released.
We need to look on the details of it, but so ultimately he's doing something to say he's doing something, but what is it going to end up actually doing? Probably not a lot.
Yeah, like look at Obama's prison reform. It didn't really accomplish much.
And Trump had some prison reform.
Yeah. Well, he lets out counts of people too, but it was like
it wasn't many though. It was like 1,400 or like not a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's just.
But those people were in there for many years, and so is, pretty meaningful cases.
Yeah, Lil Wayne can vote now. Huh? Lil Wayne's probably gonna be able to vote now. So. It's big monumental things, but I think as a society, because you look at other countries do not do it this way. Germany has work programs for people to get reintegrated in society. They have availabilities and opportunities for jobs and housing, and they can still vote. Like, these people aren't closed off from society. Obviously, there are some people who I believe don't deserve to be let out of prison. But that's the system that we have, and we have to work with that system. And I think we need to obviously work on reforming the system instead of just totally scrapping it. Because I don't think everyone should be let out of prison, and I don't think everyone should be thrown in prison.
So we just keep on working on it.
Yeah, we just have to keep working on it.
Yeah.
Because I oppose the COVID releases. For people,
that was bogus.
Like, you let out 15,000 sex offenders in California, and then they wonder why there's like a spike in sexual assault, like sex crimes.
Yeah, Texas, they had a few people get out, and then they went back. Like, they had these guys in prison, in jail, I think at the time, for domestic abuse stuff, physically assaulting their. I don't know if their spouse or partners, whatever,
family members,
got out because of COVID, which they should have never got out, went back and killed them. Like, oh.
Yeah, you testified against me.
That's what happens. Yeah. We do things a certain way, usually for a reason, because it's gone away before, and we've learned a lesson, Yeah. But I guess we've learned this lesson. Maybe not.
Don't let people out during a deadly pandemic.
That's it. What's the next one? What besides prisons?
Really just a lot of I guess the reintroduction of some of the provisions in Obamacare. I don't know that the mandate is coming back, but some of the carryovers of being able to carry people on your insurance and things like that are coming back. And I guess we're gonna have Biden care now. So just some of the provisions of Obamacare are coming back, and I don't know if he's going to take it any further than that. So,
what I do know, I don't know anything about Biden's plan. I don't know that Biden knows anything about his plan.
I think he just wants to bring back Obamacare, basically. Yeah. He just wants to give out a handout to insurance, like health insurance companies.
So the thought behind Obamacare makes sense.
It does.
Because what the thought is. The thought is that there's a gap between our safety net, being Medicaid, and being able to afford reasonable private insurance. Okay? So those people that are making, 35 or 40 grand a year, where they're not eligible for Medicaid anymore. Mm-hmm. Yet their jobs either don't offer any commercial insurance, or if they do, it's very crappy insurance.
Yeah, or just gig workers in general.
And it's expensive. And so all of a sudden they say, well, a quarter of my check is going to go to health insurance, and then when I go to the office, I still have to pay co-pays, or maybe there's a huge deductible of $5,000, so that they're going to be paying up until $5,000 until their insurance actually kicks in, and somebody's making $35,000 doesn't have the ability to pay for that.
Yeah.
So the concept makes sense. So it's either like we have to do something for that population, or we have to change healthcare in a way, right? There has to be a way for those people because they get screwed. Now I will say, Medicaid's probably better insurance than like most commercial insurance.
Yeah.
People come off Medicaid and they're pissed. Have you ever seen someone come off Medicaid? I'll tell you what happens, because they're used to getting free visits with their doctor,
like
with any kind of doctor. Almost every prescription is free. ER visits are free, and they're used to getting everything for free.
Yeah,
that's what they think insurance is.
Yep.
Come to find out, and so they work hard. Guess what? So what happens is they work hard, they get a job, and then all of a sudden they get this private insurance, and they're really excited about it. And then they say, "Wait, what do you mean I have to pay to come to $25 to come to the doctor?" And they say, "That's your copay." What the frick is a copay?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to pay this every time? What? Okay, so they go pick up a medication. Oh, this is $35. $35? I have insurance. And they say, well, I know. It came down from $200 to $50, and so that's what you pay.
Well, on Medicaid, it was free.
And so that's why it's like we have the best healthcare for the poor people.
Yeah.
Which is like it's good. It's good in a way. I mean, they need it. Mm-hmm. They do need it. The problem is that